What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite New York Jets subscription podcast, Badlands. I'm your host, Joe Caporoso. Our next to last 12 pack of the season. It's a little bittersweet. 12 pack, 9-6, going to finish above 500. Substantially better than the Jets record, although I would gladly swap, obviously. Before I dive into my picks and predictions for Jets versus Bills, I want to remind you guys that the 12 pack is brought to you by Magic Mind, which, as you can hear from my voice, when I get run down because I have two kids and I've been up trying to assemble gifts nonstop the past few days, and I still got to record podcasts and I still got to drive all over the place and do all the other stuff that middle-aged men like myself need to do. I love having my Magic Mind still in the morning, have it with my coffee. I've been having it really since the beginning of the season, consistently. They've been kind enough to be consistently sending some out, and I'm a big fan of how it tastes. Put it in the fridge, drink it cold. It's not like gross like some of the comparable ones that I've seen people have in the morning. All natural ingredients, good for a healthy lifestyle. It's in the natural ingredients. There's no like shakiness or jitteriness that comes with it, and just something that helps with focus throughout the day. So I highly recommend it for our fans. I don't think you'll go wrong once you start trying it. I think you'll just have it part of your morning routine. And we have a nice code I will link in the bio of the episode. And you could also use code JETS40 if you want directly to get 40% off your subscription, available for our first 10 orders this season. So that's code JETS40, or just click the link directly in the bio. You can also use Jets20 for a one-time off 48%. So Jets Bills, I've been alluding to this one for a few weeks that I thought this was going to be a particularly ugly one, and I still feel that way. Jets are banged up. No Olu in this game. Doesn't sound like Sauce is going to go. Devontae's banged up. Rodgers is banged up. The Bills are really good. They're like a wrecking ball this season. Josh Allen's probably going to win MVP. They kind of laid a dud last week and still beat the Patriots relatively comfortably. The Jets have been horrible in Buffalo the past few years. The Jets are not good this year. So I don't expect that to change. I've seen the Jets anywhere from like 10-point underdogs, like 11.5-point underdogs. Whatever that is, take Buffalo to win and cover. I think this is going to be like the Arizona game, roughly. I think that game finished at 35-6. I think this is a game that's like 20-3 at halftime, and they just kind of put it into cruise control in the second half, and the Bills win by 15 or more points is what I will say. So they'll win, they'll cover. I wouldn't touch the over-under because I don't think the Jets, I could see the Jets not getting to 10 points in this game, like they didn't get to 10 points against the Rams. So I think this one will be ugly. I think Rodgers will get his 500th touchdown. I think it will be more into garbage time. Maybe the Jets lose, let's call it like 34-10, and he has like an early fourth quarter touchdown pass to Devontae Adams. If you are still doing prop bets for the Jets, and I'll have some picks out for underdog, you just got to play the percentages, right? Rodgers is going to throw the ball a ton. He's going to throw the ball at Devontae Adams a ton. So, over on Roger completions, over on Devontae receptions, Devontae to score a touchdown. Those are your safest bets. Brees looked pretty good at times last week, and they did throw him the ball a little more finely. It's just been kind of volatile, and I worry about him, getting banged up. So I don't love touching any player props there. For the Bills, I think Allen's gonna, be able to have his way with this Jets defense, and will run the ball effectively against them. It's a very bad matchup for the Jets, and this is a week that they'll probably move up the draft standings a bit because they're likely to lose. You have the Jags and Titans playing. You have the Raiders and Saints playing. Could the Raiders win another game? Pats, Chargers. I think the Chargers win, but I could see the Pats being feisty there. Browns, Dolphins. The Dolphins are really bad in cold weather. Could the Browns grab one? Maybe. I wouldn't bet on it. I don't know. I think the Jets, I'm pretty sure from everything I've seen, they're guaranteed to pick in the top 10. There's still a path to them picking in the top 5. I think they'll probably end up picking like 6th or 7th. There, unfortunately, is a real road to them being 4-13 at this point. I think they're going to lose this game. I think the Miami game is going to be like a glorified preseason game. I don't know who plays in that one on either side because Miami, mathematically, they're alive, but they're like a huge long shot for the playoffs at this point. I don't think by the time that game comes around, they'll be mathematically alive. So I'm curious if Rodgers plays in that last game. Maybe he just starts and they pull him after like a few series because he wants to make the point that he started 17 games. These feel like, and this could be premature, and I have no idea. It will be determined by who they hire and other factors. These feel like these will be the last 2 games we see Aaron Rodgers in a Jets jersey. It just feels a little over coming out of that Rams game. I could be wrong. Crazier things have happened. But it feels like it's probably time all the way around. So I don't think this is going to be a fun one, and that sucks because I think when the year started, we were all looking at this game and being like, this could be for the AFC East, right? Could this be the 10-5 Jets versus the 10-5 Bills? And whoever wins this one is going to be positioned to win the division. At a minimum, the Jets would need this one to stay in the wild card hunt. And you could, you drive yourself crazy with the what ifs, right? The Jets are 4-11. You look at the AFC playoff standings, and it seems like the Bengals, could they catch Denver? I hope so. I'm rooting for that. 9-8 would be that last spot. And like if Zerline makes the kick versus Denver and Rodgers doesn't miss Garrett against the Vikings and Zerline doesn't miss those kicks against the Bills, they don't get the penalty on the Braylon Allen touchdown. Like you start talking yourself into how they get, 3 or 4 more. But when you look at it on the other side, they're 4-11 and 3 of their 4 wins are against teams who are going to pick in the top 4, right? The Jaguars, the Titans, the Pats. The Pats not even with Drake May. Their only win over a decent team was the Texans, and the Texans look a lot like the Matt Schaub, Bill O'Brien Texans now. They're going to win the division at 9-8 and probably get knocked out in the first round. Not that good of a team this year, actually. So I don't know. I think this is going to be an ugly one. I think the Bills hate the Jets. I don't think they're shy about it. The Jets have gotten a couple from them over the last couple of years, and they should have won that game earlier this year. I was there. The penalty on the Allen touchdown, and they had a chance to win late. They made a lot of mistakes in that game. It was a very frustrating one, and one that, in retrospect, was like pretty much the nail on the coffin for the season. It was a tough one, and I think going up there in the cold, banged up team, banged up old quarterback, I think it's going to get ugly and be kind of dull, to be honest. I just think like quick scores from the Bills, 20-3 at halftime, and kind of a cruise control second half, like run the ball, let's get the hell out of here and get back to MetLife to finish this, nightmare of a season and bring on some of the changes that are inevitably to come. I think the Jets have worked through their GM interviews with people who are out of the league. I think they've done, 3 or 4. They're not getting far away from being able to ramp up more, although obviously they're going to want to talk to certain guys who are involved with playoff teams. So that process is not far away. There's only 2 more of these games to work through. I hope that the Jets are smart and are erring on the side of caution with anyone who's like injured. So if Sauce is not 100%, don't play him. If Brees isn't 100%, don't play him. Got good news considering with Fashanu. Of course, he's done for the year. You would never push him there, but he seems like he'll be fine for all offseason activities. Thank God. Anyone else who's borderline, man, like just, don't push it. So if you're a Jet fan, what do you want from this game? You want a couple good Garrett Wilson moments so that even though I think a lot of the chatter is unfounded and just passing time now, I think all fans would feel better if he could go out and have 6 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. Defensively is, could, if Sauce isn't playing, you're like, could we get a good Sherwood game? Could we get a good Quincy game? If Quinnen's back out there, could him and McDonald, make some noise? Let's hope. There's not much, right? They're banged up at this point, especially, if Sauce isn't out there at defense. They got guys rotating through at safety who won't be here next year. The defensive line, besides Quinnen and McDonald, is a disaster class, and we don't want to see any of these guys in the roster next year. You want to see Tippmann keep playing well, Simpson, AVT. I don't think Max Mitchell will be on the roster next year, but he'll, likely start and make life very dangerous for Aaron Rodgers. Some nice Allen and Davis moments if they get opportunities. I'm writing off Corley's season at this point. I just think this staff has no interest in him. And if you read between the lines, he doesn't seem like a very popular person in the building right now. And we'll see what a new staff does with that. There's just not much to go around for the Jets after Wilson and Devontae, then the Conklin and Brees targets. And there's not really anything else at receiver because Gibson shouldn't be playing receiver. So like there's not like a young guy you're getting fired up about. It's just got to be Garrett at this point. So if you're betting on this one, bet the Bills to win, bet the Bills to cover, maybe tease it up a little bit to like, Bills minus 15 and a half, Bills minus 16 and a half, something like that. So 12 pack, only two left. The 12 pack stays in the off season. We just have a wider range of topics to cover, which is always nice. A reminder, only like 2 days left on this. Buy one, get one off at badlandstoj.com. Like, go buy a hat, get a polo for free. Go buy a t-shirt, get shorts for free. It's a very good deal, and it will end January 1st. We'll see we're out with the inventory, and we'll get some new merch cooking. Glad everyone enjoyed the Christmas Day episode, and Connor and I will be back after the game tonight with post-game reaction. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Talk to you soon.